If you like strange art house musicals, then I think this movie is for you. But if you don't like those kind of films, I would still keep watching through this review. Let's get on to it. What is happening, film fans? This is Let's Be Real with Brad. Today on the channel, I'm going to be talking about the brand new Amazon original film called Annette. Annette is a French-German-Belgium romantic musical drama film that is directed by Leos Carax, and the film stars Adam Driver, Marion Cotillard, and Simon Helberg. The plot follows a stand-up comedian played by Adam Driver and his opera singer wife played by Marion Cotillard, and how their lives are changed when they have their first child. So I was able to see Annette 2 weeks ago in the cinema, and I am so blessed that I was able to do so because this is one of the strangest movies I have seen of the entire year. I think people are going to be very turned off from this film because there are very strange elements that are going on that a lot of people are just not going to understand. I would also like to add that I am not too familiar with the director's work, as he is known for his poetic style and being able to talk about romantic relationships and the traumatic experience that sometimes happens with those kind of relationships. So I will be very much more interested to see more of his work. So let's get right into the review itself, and let's start with the positives. The performances in this film are undoubtedly amazing, and I think it is the best of the entire year so far. Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard are absolutely amazing in this film, and they should be nominated for their performances. I was absolutely enthralled with their performances as they stole each scene together. We also got one of the stars of The Big Bang Theory in this movie, Simon Helberg, and he was very good in this movie, and I think he should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. The Sparks brothers were able to do the music for this film, and they were also the co-writers of this movie as well, and I thought they did an amazing job with the music. I really hope this film is nominated for Best Score because the music in this film is so perfect. I absolutely loved it so much. The next positive is the cinematography. I thought the cinematography looked absolutely incredible at every single moment of this film, especially during the stand-up comedian scenes with Adam Driver's character, which I thought was exquisite. And I absolutely love how dark and creepy this movie looks at every moment throughout. My next positive is the story and the writing. I think the writing in this movie is so damn good, but that is where people are going to be divided because there are a lot of elements to this movie that can come off as very strange and weird, especially with the child character that I do not want to mention anything about, and I want you to see it for yourself. What I also really enjoy is that this is a story that we have seen before, but they are able to do many twists in the story, especially in the second half of this movie, that I did not expect for them to go, and it essentially became a whole different movie, and I love the direction they went with it. Before going into this film, I had no idea this was a musical, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I was way more into it because I felt like they were adding a very special and unique take to this story that we have seen before, and they go in many different directions with it. I also need to add that this is a hilarious movie that is so subtle in its comedy that if you're not paying attention to the comedy and what you're seeing on screen, you might not think this is a very funny film. I found this film to be so ridiculously funny in the most subtle way possible that it didn't overtake the seriousness of the film, and at times it was so gut-busting laughing, especially having one of the best sex scenes of all time that was so hilarious, and people were dying in my theater, and it was one of the most iconic moments of the entire year so far, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. I also found the editing of this film to be superb, being one of the best edited films of the entire year. The film feels so cohesive as the way it moves along, and it just feels so tightly packed. Like each scene has to matter in the way it does. At times, this film just didn't feel like a movie anymore, and I was just so into the story itself. Let's get into some of my negatives with this movie, and we're going to be starting with the pacing. The pacing of this movie is quite slow, and it might bother many modern audiences, but for me, it didn't bother me all that much until we got into certain sections of this movie. But I found that the pacing could be slow for many people, and that could turn many people off from finishing the film. And my last negative of this movie is how strange this movie is. At times, I really love how strange this movie is because they are able to do so many creative and interesting ways of telling the story. But at times, it becomes so strange and so different that I feel like I need to be able to have a second watch of this movie because I don't think I was able to appreciate all of the weird things that they were able to do. So overall, Annette is a great movie that I think a lot of people are gonna be divided on with its strange art house feel, but I think the performances, the technical aspects, and the story itself feels so unique, fresh, and so exciting to watch on screen that it makes me want to go back and rewatch this movie again. I'm going to be giving Annette an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I see you all in the next review.